Are you tired of being told that you need to be on one extreme side or another? Are you tired of not seeing eye to eye with both sides, then feeling powerless in the middle and alone? This happened to me growing up in a religious context. I was raised on one side, and then I fully rebelled, jumping all the way to the other side. Once I was there, I realized that both sides had elements that were right and wrong. But when I objected, I was seen as an enemy and outcasted. Why are we so paralyzed? And what is the essential truth that we have lost in this modern age? One thing that sets apart our modern world is the focus on rationalism. We don't allow there to be any mystery, and instead we feel like we need to understand all things. At first this was meant well, as we were trying to understand how far the human rationale could go in understanding and explaining things. But as most things, this has gone too far. We now feel like we have to understand everything to explain why scientific events happen, all the way to explaining why we choose something right or wrong. Even the decisions of everyday life, choosing a career, finding a significant other, or other important events, we feel like we need to be able to fully comprehend these things and therefore then act on them. The irony is that the human mind is only so limited and there's only so many things we can understand and know. So then we convince ourselves that knowing everything is better than knowing some things, and we take our thoughts to their extreme end. This is where political ideologies and certain opinions take their toll, as they are the extreme of one thought taken to their end. These thoughts may have something right, but are not ultimately right because they're too constricted in their view. The opposite side does the same thing. It takes the opposite approach on its subject to its extreme end. Then you have two sides reaching infinitely in opposite directions, and people conclude that one must be right and the other wrong. But our modern minds have failed to rationalize one thing and comprehend the people who are most neglected: the vote of our ancestors. You see, in older times, and especially in medieval days, people would take the two truths and the contradiction with them. If they saw two elements with truth in them, they would take both of them as truths and then a contradiction that they're both true. This is especially true in the religious context. Take in Christianity, for example. You have Jesus, who is fully God and fully man. Or the ordinary person would believe in fate, but also believe in free will also. Or take the mark of a mature person. It'd be foolish to think that someone is always right in every thought or action that they do. And likewise, it would be foolish to think that they're always wrong in whatever thought or action that they do. The sane person is in the middle, knowing that someone is right and wrong. This thinking is out of the window today. Think of our current political climate. If I were to say that I disagree with our president, that I don't like some of his policies, or I think some of his mannerisms are wrong, and then on the other hand say, well, I think he's really right in this area, and I fully support him in this one, then I'll be ostracized and seen as an outcast. Neither side will take me in, and I'll be seen as a reject, enemies to both sides. But the irony is that's actually the mature example. A mature person is able to see the pros and cons in each one, and not side fully one or the other like an immature child. This is the line of thinking that we have thrown out the window today, the twofold path. The twofold path is somewhat of a paradox. On one hand, something is true, and on the other hand, something is true. But oftentimes they seem to contradict each other. But when both are believed and there's balance taken, then the road down the middle is seen. However, this is extremely difficult because you have to be mature and understand pitfalls, because you can easily go from one camp to the other or be sucked into one thought or ideology into another way of thought or ideology. Historically, you can see this with the Christian church. Oftentimes when there's a heresy, it's taken one extreme on the way to the other extreme, and the thought or process has gone too far. And that's what makes this type of living so difficult, is that you walk on a knife's edge, but there is where true balance is found. So the key takeaway to this video, and the thought that modernity has ignored, is this: that two truths can be true simultaneously if you take the contradiction with it. This requires mystery, but by including mystery, you are free to believe both things. So if you're tired of constantly being told to join one side or another, embrace mystery and believe in both paths. Thank you for watching. I hope today's video helped you out. I'm on an adventure to discover an authentic and balanced life. I'm tired of the lifeless thinking that modernity has brought, and I'm looking to rediscover the truths that we have forgotten and live with freedom because of them. If that's something you're interested in, please subscribe and like this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.